Hey, what is going on, everybody? So, thought I'd revamp, shall we say, this show. This time, I actually kind of had to rebrand it as Late Night Talk with Philly Sports because let's be real, I haven't really done a late night show in quite some time. So, it's been a lot of fun. But before we get to it, if you guys are new, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely check out all the, actually, speaking of which, also check out the Twitch, the new Twitch channel for the It's All Star Sports, and the Twitter, which is linked down below. That being said, let me get some comments here. What up, John? No. What's good, Lady Kenzie? What's good, Brandon? Appreciate everyone coming in. So, thought everyone had a good Friday night. And myself included too. Took most of my family out for a Phillies game. Hey, quite frankly, though, despite them taking the L against the Boston Red Sox, I thought I had a really lot of fun with it because let's be real, I've not been out to a Phillies game in with Phillies have been quite some time, and thought I did something because and not just that too. I also thought I'd do something for my mom for as like an early Mother's Day thing. And to be quite honest, I mean, I thought it was actually pretty nice. Because I really had nothing to do on a Friday night. So I mean, so I got tickets ahead of time. We went pretty much just had a lot of fun. That's really all there is to it. And let's be real, the Philly sports, the traffic was that's a whole nother story for another day. But overall, the Philly sports, up to tonight just was not good. And obviously you had the Sixers losing to the Boston Celtics, and it's like, what up, Arku? And it's like, how much longer do we have to keep up with this mediocrity? And in terms of the Sixers, for all I care, I could care less about this team. Showed to play like a joke. Yeah, Arku, like I said, both Sixers and the Phillies lost. Sixers, I could care less about. If they let's see if they win the title, that still doesn't fucking care to me. I could care less about that. I really do. The Phillies, though, like they just always seem to really not get nothing, and they just didn't look like it was there. Schwarber, I don't know what the fuck he was doing later on today, especially at the number leadoff spot, which, to be quite honest, Rob Thomas, I don't know what the fuck he's thinking. But it's of course my dumbass camera had to get unplugged, so it's whatever, I guess. 1 second, guys. I gotta fix my camera. There. 1 second. Oh god, I hate my yeah, every time nothing changes. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. It's gonna get to the point where like I'm fucking done. I'm done. Like, this team does not really, if they don't want to fucking win, then fuck it. It's just for me as a longtime Phillies fan that I can remember, like, we never started this slow. I mean, except for a few years, but that's besides the point. But it's just like, Rob Thompson needs to grow a fucking pair. I'm sorry. I mean, look, you may be the lucky one. At least you guys know actually how to play winning baseball. And to be quite honest, I'm actually ready to turn my fan card in as a Phillies fan because it's going to get to the point where I'm going to start rooting for the Cubs. Let's be real. Look, I know you're going to, if anybody's going to bash me out of it, you guys are also live on Twitter too. Look, if you're going to call me out for it, I could care fucking less. I really do. Because it's like, I just want to see fucking winning baseball back here in Philly, knowing that I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, it's a long time. Well, the Eagles, well, they're the only exception. Because at least they're somewhat consistently good the last few years. Well, except for 2020, but that's not the point. But overall, like I said, I had a good time regardless if the Phillies won, I mean, especially with the Phillies losing, like I said, tonight, 5-3. It was a close game any other ways. And to be quite frankly, though, like I said, Rob Thompson needs to grow a fucking pair, and it's getting to the point where, like, when's enough? What happened to the team that went on a World Series run, and all of a sudden just be as bad as they are? It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous to say that the least. Now, the Sixers, on the other hand, they should have fucking taken game 2 at home, knowing that, yeah, you had Embiid, or got awarded his MVP trophy, and yet somehow lose by fucking 12 on your own home floor to the Boston Celtics. To be quite honest, this Sixers team does not deserve to do shit. Look, if we lose again, let's say, the next 2 games, I could care fucking less. I want Doc out of here. I want some of these guys out of here. Deadman for sure. Montrezl Harrell, another guy I want the fuck out of the building. And the fact that I don't really talked about this much, but sometimes history came back and bit us in the ass. We had 2 first overall picks in 16 and 17, but yet somehow choose the wrong fucking person for last, fuck up those 2 picks. Could have had Jason Tatum in 2017, 16 actually. I'm a moron. And you also had Jaylen Brown the following year. Like I don't get it with how Josh Harris runs this team. Well, in terms of owning the team, because the dude just doesn't really want to do shit for us. And the front office has not been really good at all. And Daryl Morey, dude, you get it. You're gonna have to pack your back at some point because this team, they ain't waiting for. Look, say me like if you're gonna call me out and say, "Oh, you're like just a hater of the Sixers," I do not give a flying fuck. No matter if the Sixers somehow find success, that still doesn't make up for the fact that we had to go through the fucking process years. Had to fucking trade away guys like AI at one point to Denver. Moved on guys that came and gone. I mean, look at Drew Holiday. Despite the fact that, ugly first round exit, but had a good career after leaving Philadelphia. Lou Williams is another guy. Wasted the potential, just could not do it. Goes to Atlanta and balls the fuck out and actually knocks us out. Oh, one of the factors of knocking us out into the playoffs. I'm just keeping 100% real. This Sixers team, we ain't going to see success for a long time. The Flyers, well, we know how the Flyers are. No, that's the Flyers. They're just garbage, for a lack of a better term. Honestly, but like I said, I haven't really done a late night show in a while. I really had, like I said, I haven't really done a late show. Well, because I actually wanted to reboot this series, the show a little bit, and I'll do these every so often. Like I won't do them like every night, but you'll see them like on days, nights that I'm not working. Say, for example, well, obviously the Sunday and Monday, I'm not going to be able to do episode 2 of this show because my schedule's kind of been fucking busy. But Thursday, I'll definitely do one Thursday. That's what I thought. Then again, it's just we can't. Our pitching stinks. Let's be real. Nola is inconsistent. Wheeler, I don't know what the fuck happened to him. Bailey Falter's fucking goddamn ass. Never getting rain. And not just that, we got hit with early preseason injuries, which was a fucking bullshit thing to begin with. We had Harper Harper, I think you can give him some slack because he actually finally got the surgery to get the Tommy John. And the fact he came back as quick as he did, it's not been nuts. But actually had a really good day today, or a good night at the Dish. So, I'll give him that. And same with Nick. As much as I shat on you, mostly prefer who have seen me here on YouTube, constantly say or follow me on social media, like how much I bash Nicholas Castellanos, especially after last year. And looking at what he's doing now, I pretty much take everything back. I really do. Because with the way that Nick is going on, yeah, will he strike out here and there? Yeah, sure. But the dude's been very productive for this team. And to be quite honest, like this team or whoever else is in this lineup is not giving their 100%. We've seen Harper give his 100% with one good elbow. Nicholas Castellanos, another guy that tried so overdid it too much last year, comes this year, and actually becomes what he was back in Cincinnati. Now, in terms of the home runs are going to be get there, sure. That's another thing too. Like I really hate baseball fans that say, "Oh, we want home runs and stuff like that." Like I could care less about that. Like if it comes, it comes. Like, it is what it is, and. JT, I don't know what the fuck happened to him defensively because his defense has just been gone. After getting, the way how the schedule has kind of played out, got swept by the Dodgers. That was fucking embarrassing. Unfortunately, get owned by the Texas Rangers. Well, that's kind of been given, knowing the fact we had to play the Texas Rangers. So, because first of all, I had this team Pretty much, and speaking of, like, I really don't have like high expectations going in, especially for this team, knowing how Philly sports, how they operate, depending on who you're asking. If you're a Phillies fan, Eagles fan, Flyers fan, Sixers fan, you name it. What up, Rafi? What's good, my dude? What is good, man? Appreciate you coming in. Shout out to everyone that's been in the chat. But yeah, had a good night with my family at the bank, because let's be real, I couldn't get any vlogs on because obviously they're playing a lot of copyrighted music, so never got a really chance to do that. But I've gotten some photos and stuff like that, and some videos and stuff like that, so that was kind of fun. But to be fair, though, it's been Philly sports has been kind of been rough, for me the past few years. Not as an Eagles fan, though. I mean, the Eagles, they always find a way to be good, regardless of who you're asking. But as a longtime Phillies and Sixers fan, I felt the fall of the Sixers since 2001, since the AI days. Now I don't remember the early years of AI, but it's just like this team, the Sixers franchise, has not really done much to really show that they can actually be a consistent winning. I mean, no matter what they do in the regular season, they just never can't get it together in the postseason. By what I mean by that is pretty much they shut the hell down. It's like you have a guy like Embiid who busts his ass so much each and every year for this franchise, but yet that organization does not want to do nothing to help him, which is pathetic as hell. And I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Look, me and Tara actually talked about this before I even put the show together, or revamped the show, shall I say. We are considering bandwagoning away from the Phils, because the way had they been playing, it's not good. Let's be real. We're 3 games under 500. Could have been a lot better, but no, like this, some of these guys just do not fucking care. And this also stands to the fact that Rob Thompson needs to grow a fucking pair and set these guys straight. Because if you don't, you're going to see a lot of failure. And quite frankly, as much as I don't want to see them miss the playoffs, but for all I care, they miss the playoffs. Oh, well, that's their fault. And knowing that, and I really hate the late, and, I'm the kind of person where I hate these these laid back personalities, no matter who you're asking, in terms of, especially in the Phils organization, knowing that, it seems like Noah doesn't really give a flying, well, that all starts them. I mean, terrible is an understatement. I'll say terrible was an understatement for me. And to be quite honest, like I said before, for those who are just coming in, I could care fucking less about the fucking Sixers. I really fucking do. After 2001, this team has not really been the same ever since. Going through the process years from like 2012, I think about around, God, it's been a freaking while, and let's be not the good years, but only one good draft pick came out of that era, and that was Joel Embiid. Could have had him, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. That could have been a nice good 3, but no, we had to stuck with a guy like Ben Simmons. We could have stuck with a guy with Markelle Fultz. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Like it's ridiculous to this point. It really is. I mean, as a longtime Phillies fan, a longtime Sixers fan, it's sad. Like, I'm so numb to this point with the Sixers. It's like, if they're going to lose a series of Celtics anyways, am I going to be upset about it? Probably not. Because, like, I know this. I knew this going in this year. Like, knowing that as a longtime Sixers fan, I knew going into this year, like, we're going to find, knowing this could be Doc Rivers last year, but knowing going into here, like I say, yeah, this team, no matter what the additions are, this team never seems to get it together. It really hasn't, especially a team against the Boston Celtics, who they've been owning us for years, except for 1983. I think a lot of times people forget that during our championship run in 1983, we actually swept the Boston Celtics, I think, at one point, or we won, I think, in 5 games against the Boston Celtics, and then swept the Lakers in 1983. But since then, we just cannot figure out the Boston Celtics. For whatever reason, for decades, we could not figure that Celtics team out. No matter who it is or who's playing, who's wearing that green and white jersey, it's ridiculous. And, and it's just like, in the case of the Phillies, though, I mean, the way we had them, it's just, I don't know. Like, it's really tough to really say. Yeah, you ain't wrong. PS start. Yeah, like she just like all intents and purposes, get him the hell out of here. And quite frankly, though, I think we really have not really. I would say not any good point guard play was since Allen Iverson or Drew Holiday. I know. A lot of some Sixer fans are going to really be annoyed about that, but Drew Holiday, was actually not terrible, but he was actually pretty decent when he was here. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. The 2000 mid 2000s Sixers, the only knock with them was a big man play. Because let's be real, who remembers like Spencer Hawes, Samuel Dallenberg, and there's probably another guy I'm pretty much forgetting because man, that team has really, those teams have really not stayed together for a while. I mean, seen Iguodala have a lot of success outside of Philadelphia. Same with Drew Holiday, Lou Williams, Markelle Fultz. With the Orlando Magic, it's like it really fucking bugs me of what the scouting team is really looking for. Now, the only saving grace was, I mean, like 2020, yeah, the only guy that we got lucky to actually played pretty well since coming into the league. And that was Tyrese Maxey. Now, yes, Tyrese Maxey overall, sitting at 6'3". I mean, look, the kid's still developing as he goes on. I mean, that's where my issue where a lot of Sixer fans, a lot of times they just say, oh, like move on for him. But the dude's been, second full year starting. Didn't really take over the fucking job until Doc had to bench Ben Simmons because he didn't want to fucking show up worth a fucking damn. So, yeah, I mean, but yeah, Urku, like, as a longtime Philly sports fan, I'm not the kind of guy that want to bandwagons, but the way how the Phillies have been playing so far at this point, I'm really considering to being a band going back to what I would, being a bandwagon Cubs fan. Because let's be real, at least the Cubs actually know how to win fucking games. At least even with the games that they do lose, like say they don't win, they always somehow keep it close. Where the Phillies, it's a whole different fucking ball game as an entire together. And it's sad. It really is sad. How the state of the Phillies have been, and shit. I've always said this too. That World Series run was a fucking fluke, and we're seeing it firsthand. Rob Thompson cannot, tell these guys or, get these guys, right, but yet still don't want to give 100%. And quite frankly, that's something it's not going to sit well with a lot of Sixers or a lot of Phillies fans at all. And to be quite honest, man, it's look, if you want to troll me because of how the Sixers are garbage, look, that's not really going to really affect me because like the Sixers year in and year out, no matter what the circumstances is, I'm always going to each and every year knowing that it's going to be the same shit year in, year out. And at some point, how much longer does MB going to put up with this bullshit before he wants out? Because let's be real, I'm the kind of person like saying he deserves better elsewhere, and I stand by that. I really do. I think he deserves to needs to request a trade out of Philadelphia. The dude, we have not done really much to help him. The dude the last few years have been carrying this team on his back in the postseason because no one else wants to fucking step up and really help. But then again, you also put a blame on the front office, and let's be real, Elton Brand has not really done much. Daryl Morey's starting to kind of lose his luster, shall we say. But overall, it's fucking sad. It's sad, how the Sixers had kind of fallen from being a good regular season team, but yet somehow cannot be super inconsistent in the postseason. The Flyers, well, the Flyers are just the Flyers. I mean, there's really no ifs, ands, or buts, or no good positive words coming out of that organization. No one until they had to do like a full-blown rebuild and get new young guys up in there, actually know how to do business dealings in the NHL. their unit has always been consistently good. And I really don't. I mean, I'll watch some of their matches from time to time, but I really don't really follow them as like a diehard soccer fan does. And yes, I said soccer because if you're going to be one of those UK fans, so it's football. I could care less. But like I said, it's just one of those things. It's just like we just can't get anything going. You know, for the love of, for all I care, sometimes living next to Philadelphia, sometimes I feel like I kind of ashamed. Ashamed at the fact that I've been a Philly sportsman for years. Got to see a World Series in 2008, so I saw that in my lifetime. Got to seen us multiple Super Bowl appearances in my lifetime. Same and with the Super Bowl win, not a bit of nice by two, but that's here nor there. The only two times we have not really seen was the NHL, which I had not seen since 1975. By the way, for those who don't know, the last time the Flyers won any fucking won at all was in 75, which was when my before my mom was born, and that was when my grandparents were in their teens. Think about that. It's almost been. Oh, I do. I know this entire sports franchise, no matter who you're asking, it's nothing but a failure. Except for the Eagles. The Eagles, they were actually throughout the 2000s were pretty good. I mean, they had some. I mean, it's been they had some roller coaster years, sure. 2020 that was basically a failure. Well, I mean, that's something I want to forget because I want to fucking kill myself over that, but that's the point. I do accept failure. The Sixers is a living embodiment of failure year in and year out. Like I said, nothing changes with the Sixers. The Phillies, that's kind of hard to tell depending on the years. I mean, shit, after not being in the World Series since 2009, haven't won it all since 2008, haven't been in the postseason since 2012 or 2011, I should say. Yeah, this has been the Phillies and the Phillies, I think they're second behind the Sixers in terms of being the living embodiment of failure. But then again, the Flyers is the same way. The Flyers are pretty much another living embodiment of failure. So pretty much right now, as it stands, it's pretty much the Sixers, the Flyers, the Phillies are right now the current living embodiments of failure in the city of Philadelphia, except for the Eagles. So the Eagles actually kind of figured it out the last few years. Actually kind of right at the wrongs that Howie has done, get rid of Ortega Whiteside, get rid of guys that let's be real, should never have chosen. But that's here nor there. But just really looking at how this team has been, and I don't know anymore. Like I don't know how much more failure I can take because it's going to get to the point where I'm actually going to start bandwagoning. In terms of baseball, I'm actually going back to being a Cubs fan. Being a bandwagon Cubs fan for all I care. At least you know how to make winning base. Actually know how to win games, and has really the talent to do so. And same with the rotation and the bullpen. Basketball, I could care less for basketball anyways. Well, at least I always got the WNBA to look forward to in the summer, which is actually going to be a lot of fun, especially for my Aces. Yeah, it's actually nice to see your Rangers actually winning compared to my fucking team. Yeah, I mean, Arco, you're kind of lucky. I feel like you're one of those guys that I feel like you've been around the channel for a while. So, I mean, I get this failure that the Texas Rangers has had over the years. I actually finally figured it out, actually getting a competent manager and a really good one at that. Actually getting some pieces that actually are meaningful to use and actually address the starting rotation. Because let's be real, the starting rotation the last few years, let's be real, they've not been great. Not going to say we're bad, but they were below average, shall we say? Because like I said, I don't really watch many Rangers games. Since I do have MLB TV now, so I would keep up with that. So, but that's kind of here nor there. Yeah, and a good front office. Well, it's whatever I get this point. But yeah, it's But yeah, give me 1 second, guys. Because it's gonna be a lot of in other words, see, let's see if we can get Tyler up in here. 'Cause I really don't mind doing this by just solo, but like I said, I haven't really done a show like this in quite a while. And to be fair, I don't know. It's I don't know, but it's whatever, I guess, in terms of the Phillies and the Sixers. But like I said, I'm looking forward to the Eagles though, especially of what we have done so far. Mm, but yeah, I mean, been it's been, like I said, one crazy year though, but it's whatever, I guess. I mean, shit, if the Doc does ever get fired, I wonder what we would say. I mean, that's kind of hard not to say that the Rangers suck, but I mean, if you go back, let's say, you got to go back about 5, 10 years. Hell, if you go like the mid 2010s, yeah, and yeah, I know a lot of Texas Ranger fans don't want to remember those years. And obviously, sometimes for good reason, but and really looking of I don't know, man. It's been one. And looking at the other right now, Phoenix is now holding a 6 point. Well, now it actually a 2 point lead over Denver. Yeah. Then again, I mean, you're not the only one, Arku. You're another team that's a fan base is actually lucky to actually be good as the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now the question is, like, I don't think they're really going to be like that for through a whole. Who knows at this point? Starting pitching, the bullpen's been actually kind of fine. So I won't want to see the bullpen, but the starting pitching's been kind of been off, and guys just don't want to fucking do anything. And that's the reason why a guy like Rob Thompson, for me, I just don't want anymore. And the dude is a flash in the pan type of player or type of manager, shall we say. And it really hasn't been the days of, and especially from the days of Charlie Manuel. Honestly, I think the Phillies made a mistake of firing Charlie Manuel after 2015, or I think about through mid-season actually. And ever since then, I mean, we just have not really got the manager situation right since Charlie Manuel, and the fact that he's been one of our highest winning manager, from like 07 to 2015. Which I think a lot of times I feel like people really tend to forget that Charlie Manager was one of the best managers we had in quite some time. And, it's ridiculous to say the least. But then again, who am I to say? I'm not part of the front office and shit like that. And, oh, shit. I don't know, man. But it's been. Yeah, so I mean, it's really kind of hard to really say, where the Phillies team is at in terms of being. Nothing's changed. I know Tyru gets on my ass a little bit because the dude doesn't want to. The dude doesn't want to grow a pair and actually tell these guys, wake the hell up, or because I've been, he's still because like I said, he's some of those kind of guys. Like that's the reason why he was a bench coach for the last 3 decades, and the fact that. I mean, shit. I'm not just Joe Girardi and Rob Thompson. I mean, we had guys that are coaches nowadays, over the years, never really panned out in Philly. Peter Laviolette, I think, never really got the chance. I thought because I mean, at the time, when Peter Laviolette was the coach of the Flyers, like they actually had some really good teams under Laviolette. I will have to admit that. The Sixers, I mean, in terms of the good coaching that he had over the years, I mean, I know probably older Sixers fans are going to name one. For me, it was Larry Brown in the 2000s. From what I remember. And it's like I don't know. I really don't know what the hell is going on. In terms of coach, some of these coaches, no matter who you're asking, if you're a Phillies fan, Eagles fan, Sixers fan, Flyers fan, not really, not want to help get, propel one of these franchises in the right direction. I mean, shit, if you go back before the last, if you take not this year, not the year before, it might feel like minus 2017, the Eagles Super Bowl year. This Eagles team was not going anywhere. Let's be real. And more, Howie Roseman finally figured out what the fuck was the problem. And, despite the, unfortunately had to bite the bullet in 2018 and same with 2019. It comes to 2020. The only good draft pick coming out of that was Jalen Hurts, even though funny enough, I was actually skeptical. It's like, why are we taking a quarterback in the second round? Knowing that we had a franchise quarterback in Carson Wentz, but knowing where the situation lied, especially with Carson Wentz anyways, the dude put on weight that, hindered what he can be, exactly what he was, when we first drafted him in 2016. No, not a bad rookie year, but the team itself was just god-awful. In terms of 2017 came, however, look, we were still one of the Super Bowl nonetheless, had Carson Wentz not tore his knee against the Los Angeles Rams. But either way, the outcome still stayed the same, even though we did had Nick Foles pretty much carry this team the rest of the way. I mean, with guys like Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, Jay Ajayi, LeGarrette Blount, and guys like that. And we still at the time we still had Zach Ertz. And what pains me, and going forward after that, I think after one game we finally moved on from Zach Ertz after a victory, shall we say. And that really boy, where did that I didn't really know how to feel about that. Look, I knew we were going to move on from Zach Ertz, but I would have had to move him at the deadline. And to be fair, I mean, so I don't know, man. It's the Eagles. Look, I don't really say the Eagles really pissed me off as the next person, but at least they try. And it's just, and I'm really happy to where the Eagles have been the last few years. Well, I mean, especially with 2017, yes, that was kind of like, in a way you could say that was a bit of our downfall for about 3 years. I mean, consistently make the playoffs, but really never get back to the Super Bowl. Even though that's kind of like the hardest thing. Not just the Super Bowl, but just in like any championship game in particular. No matter if it's the World Series, the Stanley Cup, speaking of which.
Yo, is it dark? I'm in my living room when I just turned the lights off.
Yeah, it's a little bit dark, but shit.
Is it fine though?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind it.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so
all right, guys. All right, viewers. Can you see me well? The only light that's illuminating is from in front, which I have the TV on. I got a NFL game from like 1987 on.
Yeah, that's crazy though, but. So yeah, so Tyler. So even at the beginning of this, I thought because I actually want to revamp this late night show occasionally. So get back right into it. Because not gonna lie, it's actually kind of fun not doing a late night show. It's just like
it's like we're chilling with the viewers, man. We're chilling with the people. I love doing this.
I even said this too. Like even with the Phillies losing tonight, I still had a lot of fun at the bank because I've not really been.
I was literally making it positive because I like both teams.
Yeah.
Every time the Red Sox scored, I'm like, yay, aw, but yay.
Unfortunately, that one delay, a fan fell over the railing and cracked his skull. I was like,
dude, I was scared. I was scared shitless for him.
I was like, because for me, where I was sitting, I was section 430, so I was like way up in the nosebleeds because that was the cheapest ones I could get. So I mean, because let's be real, the lower seating,
they kept showing that in the New England broadcast up here.
Just
kept showing any NESN or some shit.
Yeah, I think it's so.
But they kept showing that general area. And I'm like, oh no, what's going on? There's paramedics there.
Yeah, that was a huge delay.
Actually, I saw this fan.
Yeah,
I'm like, and then they showed inside the dugout where they showed Red Sox players legit crying. because they were scared.
Yeah. But yeah, so and we saw some beat writers, some both mostly Phillies beat writers. They're going to give us an update probably tomorrow and stuff like that. So
yeah,
and
I'm hoping I wake up to some good news that he's okay or they're okay.
trust me, I will say this too. I feel even for me, well, thank God I no, he just
Sorry, that
disappeared.
was the TV. I'm gonna just turn off this
Yeah,
cam.
yeah. So I mean, but yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, and that was the reason why it delayed for a little bit. At the same time, but I'll say this too: traffic, wasn't bad coming back home, but good God, traffic was still a bitch.
I bet, man. There's like 46 something thousand there.
Oh yeah, it was another sold out crowd.
The problem is if this losing shit keeps going, they're not gonna sell.
Shit.
Later in
That's
the
why I think
season, they're not gonna sell.
we're going to start planning trips to go to Chicago. So the south side, no, not south side, the north side. Make sure I get that right because the south side is the armpit of Chicago. So
Yeah, Red Sox country or no White Sox country.
yep.
Oof.
Then again, I mean, we thought we were terrible, but then again, could you imagine what the White Sox had that entire families had to put up
But
with?
here's the thing that hurts about us: we're within striking distance to make a goddamn run, and we're not doing it.
It's because I mean, the only ones I feel like it's giving a freaking damn is Nick Castellanos. The dude's giving it his all, and
I mean, I wouldn't say the rest of the team doesn't care. The ones that I really don't think cares is Schwarber. Definitely does not give a shit.
it seems like Turner doesn't really seem like his head's in it.
Turner's hit or miss. Some days he does care, some days he doesn't. He needs to start consistently caring. That's the problem I have.
Because overall, I mean, if he doesn't really produce throughout this entire year, it's going to look very ugly with that signing. Let's be real.
It's gonna be very ugly to start. But look at last year with Castellanos. He was not good last. He was not good last year.
Yeah, and me and Tyler,
especially in the playoffs, he was terrible.
Whew, yeah, not just the playoffs, but this last year in general. Whew. Yeah, and Tyler knows me better than anybody. Like how much I've been bashing this motherfucker, like it's nothing.
Dude, you've been bashing everybody. This guy sucks.
Oh yeah,
that guy sucks. You already jumped ship to the goddamn Cubs.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've already turned my fan card in. It's pathetic.
Here's the thing, though. It's May. I would have waited till maybe June, July to do that.
Well, I mean, that's.
And also, you've always said that you're the biggest Phillies fan, yet here you are turning in your fan card in May.
Yeah, I mean, look at the different teams over the years. It's like, I mean, you had the 08 team, you had the 07, 08 team, then 09. I mean, it's just like, there's no, like this entire franchise is, well, then again, it can't be shit. As a Sixers fan, yeah, I already turned that card in a long time ago. Because I even said this too earlier in the show. It's like, yeah, like knowing that it's like, oh, it's gonna be like another year for the Sixers. Like, say, do I feel excited? No, like I knew where this. Like I
knew. Everybody was like, "Oh, why are you so negative about the Sixers?"
I mean, have you seen?
And I already predicted when the playoffs started, they were second round exits. There's no way in hell.
I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's like written all over that.
I knew going in, Rob. I knew going in. They don't have the bench depth. They don't have the starting depth because you don't know what Harden you're going to get. You don't know what Embiid you're going to get. You don't know what Doc Rivers are going to get. Coaching. Like, I knew it. I knew that we were not going to hold a candle to Boston. I knew it.
I mean, shit, Tyler, the only time we actually beat them in the playoffs and on the way to a title was in like I said, that go back to 1980.
1983. Dude, 1983 was the last time we beat them.
Yeah, and then we swept the Lakers for the NBA Finals. Remember,
yeah.
That
was way back in the 80s. You know how much of a problem that is?
That is a huge problem.
We couldn't beat a team like the Celtics since the 80s.
I mean, shit.
Since way before we were even freaking alive.
Yeah, when my grandparents
were. That's a problem. That's a freaking problem.
Well, we had two franchises who are in a bunch of problems. That's Flyers. Well, like I said,
The Flyers been having ups and downs since the freaking 70s.
Shit. I said the truth. The only decent years that I remember when we had Peter Laviolette as a head coach of the Flyers. Man, look at the teams he's had. There actually there were some pretty good teams.
The one team that I completely am still baffled about and sickened about was 2010.
Yeah,
when they made it to the goddamn Stanley Cup final and
you had an opportunity to knock off the Blackhawks.
You had a 3-1 lead and you blew it.
And if I'm not mistaken, too, that
it was like a mirror copy of what the Boston Bruins are now. Blowing a 3-1 lead
if you're
and
gonna
blowing the entire
I feel bad for that again. It's kind of funny to see Bruins fans just throwing their shit because first of all, you won 65 games in the NHL regular season and yet played subpar to I would say an average Florida Panthers team. I was like, what? Like that was a head scratcher.
And I'm like, and the thing is, I'm like, I'm gonna convert to Boston, and next you know, the next day I'm like, I shouldn't have converted to Boston.
Oof, sucks to be
because I'm not a really big Flyers guy. I just didn't. So I wasn't really into hockey all that much.
Yeah, after 2010 ruined it for me.
After 2010, it was just like I'm out.
You know, I wasn't. Really I turned that.
I tried to periodically go back into it in 2012, and then I'm like, I'm out again because I can't really follow it that well. There's so many rules and what offsides is and what this is and what I'm like.
I was like, nah, no, thank you.
I'm like, nope, too complex for me.
It's just
like with me with the Eagles, I'm ride or freaking die.
Oh yeah,
I'm a huge Eagles fan. That's not changing whatsoever. But other sports that could be interchangeable.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, with the Eagles, though, at least
the Eagles, with the Eagles, you know me, and my family knows me better than anyone. I ain't.
Oh yeah, you're ride or die, bleed green.
I'm ride or freaking die,
goddamn year,
bro.
But I've
been through a 4-12 season and a 4-11-1 season. I still haven't quit yet.
Not just that,
I still haven't freaking quit yet.
Like I actually literally vomited because of how bad the season really was. But still, never changed. But then again, take us in consideration of the league, and the Eagles actually kind of finally figured it out, though. You know, since then, actually know how to draft, and kind of ironic, seeing Rager get his fifth year option decline, which is actually kind of funny. So that makes me happy. So
that right there just cracks me up.
Yeah,
like, dude, you were so freaking terrible. Like, what?
And the dude couldn't do even well, thank God the Vikings actually knew like the dude wasn't that good. So
I don't even know why the Vikings got to him. Like, what the hell?
Hey, ask Howie. He's the one who traded Rager to the Vikings. And it's like, I was like, man. But I will say this too, though. Even though, we lost the Super Bowl, sure, I'm not going to make excuses about that. Yeah, the better team won, and it's what it is.
Well, and also, was the field conditions pretty bad? Yes.
Anyway, yes.
I'm not going to make that, like most Eagles fans are, I'm not going to make that my main excuse. We did not play well defensively at all because of the coaching, because of Gannon, which I'm glad he's out of there.
I don't talk yet.
Thank you for the extra draft pick, by the way.
Not just that, too. We could have had Vic Fangio instead of Sean Desai. Had not Gannon actually illegally tampered to be in talks.
But here's the thing: Vic Fangio plays the same shitty defense. That's the thing.
But even
he plays that same shitty defense that every other coach is trying to do.
It's crazy. But
God damn it.
Look, and again though. It's just crazy too. Like, especially this year's draft was actually really good. But then again, if you're going to be some of these teams, like, man, Detroit, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking. They were your first two draft picks. First of all, and funny enough, I actually had Jahmyr Gibbs and both Jack Campbell as a second rounders. Both were fucking reaches.
Right.
So Detroit, thank you for DeAndre Swift because you're gonna really regret that. And I'm gonna say that right now, knowing that yes, yeah, I mean, look,
Yeah.
he's only 24. Yes, does he have injury? Yeah, sure, but we don't really use our running backs a lot.
No, we don't. We don't absolutely just kill running backs. We cycle between running backs. We like last year it was Miles Sanders,
Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott.
Kenny Gainwell, and then the occasional Boston Scott move. You know,
Well, when we play the Giants, because I know that's going to.
Yeah, I was going to say that we usually just start Boston Scott just to kill the Giants.
Oh, because the dude's a fucking giant. I mean, the dude's called John Carroll for a reason. The dude's almost has almost 20 touchdowns career wise against the fucking Giants.
And that's why we predominantly use Boston Scott just to kill the Giants, just to piss off
and
Giants.
Too, like the Rashad Penny signing, that's like, yeah, I'm saying, I didn't mind it, but if he stays healthy, that's going to be.
I'm like, that's a high risk move. You know,
it
could work
for a guy that's very dirt cheap.
It could work. It could work
if it works out.
But that'd be great. But I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know about the move until I see it play out. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
Because of these, injury issues and other stuff that happens.
I mean, shit.
I don't know, but I was just glad we were able to keep the core together.
Yeah, which to be quite honest, I will admit, that surprised me that we kept most of the core together.
We kept most of the team together. I'm like, we actually have a chance this season.
And look at what look at Hurts's extension.
I'm over here nervous after the Super Bowl. Oh no, there goes the team. The team's gonna blow up. We're gonna suck next year. No,
that's how we say.
We lost one or two heavy hitters. That's it.
And knowing that, they were asking for a lot of money. I know Howie's and say, you say you're going to ask me a lot of money. Shit, I'm going to get your replacement. Look at Jalen Carter for crying out loud. We got we got rid of what's his face CJ, but we replaced him with the Reed Blankenship, or it could be Cedric Brown.
Him with him.
Could be another guy.
That whole fast. We're like, ooh.
Exactly, and knowing the fact that,
like, all right, if you don't want to come back because you want more money elsewhere, we'll replace you with Reed Blankenship.
Pretty much says House here. Hold my beer. It's basically what that's the kind of mindset has. And you know what,
bro? That dude deserves like 5 or 6 beers, maybe like 10 shots.
Yeah,
some bourbon. Throw some bourbon in there.
And that's crazy too, though. I mean, the fact that if you go back to our Super Bowl team, the fact. It's like night and day in terms of the roster construction, and I won't say trading Swift was dumb, knowing that number one, you lost when the Lions first lost Jamal Williams to the Saints in free agency. That was for me. Well, obviously, it was an indicator, but what was the indicator was Jahmyr Gibbs when they reached him 12th overall. That
you traded away one of your top running backs for a guy who's unproven, who's basically unproven because you just drafted him.
And Tyler, I don't know if you saw the Lions war room. They were so fucking happy about it. It's like, oh yeah, you pissed it. Yeah, that was another biggest that was the biggest red flag.
Yeah.
I know there was no risk because we just pretty much got him for free. So we got that fourth rounder come back anyways because losing Hargrave to free agency, that was the compensatory pick. So either way, we still got him for free.
I would say there was I would say there is a risk for trading for him because he has injury issues. It does present an issue there. But if he stays healthy, then that high risk becomes a low risk.
And you also got to take into consideration that he's playing behind a better offensive line than what the Lions had for him.
Yeah, he was getting beat up back there all the damn time.
So
same goes for the quarterback. Same goes for everyone else in that backfield.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Rashad Penny behind a good old line. The dude,
Rashad was getting beat up.
I mean, shit. I remember one year when he was like fully healthy. This dude can kick into a second gear if he needed to.
Bro, Rashad Penny in his prime when he was healthy was an absolute beast.
And it's just that O-line over time just kind of deteriorated over time. And it's crazy too. I mean, looking and you know, and I gotta give Howie a lot of credit for this too, especially with how Hurts did his extension, knowing the fact he's got 1 more year left, which I think is like 6.15 mil. Which
But
I think
here's the thing, Damien. Here's the thing. The only reason why we got rid of Miles Sanders is because it was either Sanders going to get paid or Hurts going to get paid.
and my priority.
We were not going to get rid of that franchise QB.
And think about this too. No one
way in
overpays
hell.
for a running back.
That's also the case too. No one wants to overpay for a goddamn.
Unless you're Jerry Jones, but that's besides the point.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that really irritates me about this. Y'all Philly haters like to look at this at face value. You Philly haters like to look at this at face value. Oh, you signed an injury-prone guy. Without looking at the why. They are cheaper picks. They are cheaper.
And how knows what he's doing? I mean,
Howie knows what the hell he is doing. Oh, you got 2 injury-prone guys. Yeah, and we still got Kenneth Gainwell.
And that's the funny thing too.
If one of those guys goes down, or both of these guys goes down,
we got depth, and
we
Boston
got
Scott,
and Boston Scott. We can go to a 2-headed monster if we have to.
Or then again, knowing how he's going to probably fleece for another running back because that's just kind of how he is.
Yeah, he'll probably fleece for another running back because guess what? We are only in May. The season's in September.
Yeah, and think of this too, though. I mean, you know, this is why
if our record is in dire need and we need a running back, he will trade for one mid-season.
I mean, think about it. Look at 2017. Who was
He's
the one running back
before? Yes,
Jay Ajayi.
Done that before.
I think if I remember correctly, it was a 4th round. I think we gave up for Jay Ajayi, if I'm not mistaken.
We only traded a draft pick for him. Yeah, he can probably only
and
trade
he played
a draft pick for a healthy running back.
And he balled all better than he did during his time in Miami. It's like, good. I know Miami was kicking themselves in 2017.
He was struggling. No, he was struggling in Miami the same season. And then we got him, and he just played lights to frig out the rest of the year.
And Dame, you got to look at this too. Let's go back to what I said earlier. Look at the teams that they've been on. Not great offensive line help. Let's be real. Now, I will say,
let's be real. You're not getting it, Damien. The reason why we got rid of Miles Sanders is because he's way too goddamn expensive.
And not to mention, too, these guys don't actually fumble the football at the worst possible time you want to fumble it. And that's where we had issues with.
He fumbled it twice in the Super Bowl. And that is not the place. That is not the time nor the place to fumble footballs. Is in the Super Bowl.
And not just that too. He also fumbled in the national title game, despite us winning that game.
He almost lost us the NFC Championship game because of that. And that's the thing.
And I think how we realized.
Also, if these guys stay healthy, they are still pretty damn good.
And knowing that, yeah, Swift is like barely over $2 million against the cap, so he's very cheap against the cap. And same with Rashad Penny.
And the reason why we did that is because we were scared to do this in 2017.
Yeah.
Remember, we were scared to get rid of our guys because of, oh no, what happens if we lose these guys? Oh no, we're plummeting. Oh no, we're going 9-7. We're going 9-7 again. Oh no, we plummeted to 4 wins.
Yeah, and
Howie does not want that to happen again. He doesn't want that to happen.
I mean,
and
not just Howie, Jalen Hurts too. Look, on face value, yeah, he got a lot what he asked or that he deserved. Now, if you break down the contract, it's very team that's you cannot ask me that's more team friendly. Then again, I think Patrick Mahomes is also team friendly too, and that's another thing too. They took what Kansas City did with Patrick Mahomes. They backloaded the later years, so Hurts can have his Oh yeah, we get that, but running backs nowadays come a dime a dozen. Running backs do have the share of health issues. Like that's kind of given the last handful of years.
But here's the thing. If one of those guys don't pan out, they're going to get traded.
Exactly.
They're going to get traded. And he might fleece him for a top pick. He might be used. Who knows what he's going to do within, within the months of between April or May and September. One of those running backs may already be trade bait, and we don't know it.
But yeah, I mean, shit. Think about it. We fleeced the fucking hell out of the Saints, a Super Bowl winning team with a top 10 pick. Yep. Think about that for a minute. That's still. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Not gonna lie, I'm just excited for Eagles football already. Seeing Jalen Hurts and Kelly Green. Oh, that's gonna look so nice.
That's gonna look sexy as hell.
Shit. You already had Jalen Carter got his number. He's gonna be wearing number 90. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bro, this Kelly Green's gonna look nice as hell. Whew.
I mean, Nolan Smith. Oh, geez, when that kid's health. Yes, I know his senior year he had. I think if I remember correctly, he had a torn pectoral, which kind of cut his season short early. That's the fact that he fell at 30 is like, what?
I think the torn pec was the reason why he fell to 30. But then again, it shouldn't have, because a torn pec, you're fine within what, a year?
I think about at least 9 months to about a year.
9 months to a year with surgery, and then
and the fact a lot of teams passed up on Nolan Smith, and the fact he fell in our motherfucking laps. I know.
That kind of reminds me of Jordan Davis falling in our laps,
ironic. Here's the ironic part, though. Actually, if we did not, I think it was somebody trade back or whatever it was. I actually had Jordan Davis going to the Raiders. I did not expect Jordan Davis go to us at 13. I actually had us taken as Kyle Hamilton for safety out of Notre Dame.
That's what I was taking. I'm thinking Kyle Hamilton, out of Notre Dame, like you were. But I was not thinking,
that Jordan Davis was still.
He just fell in our laps at 13.
It really is. I mean, and it's funny too. It's just like really look, and the fact that most of the guy, most of our offensive lines out there. Well, people are gonna say you're gonna have a O line of Alabama. It's like, in a way, you have a couple guys from Alabama. Well, actually, one guy from Alabama. Technically, two guys from Alabama. Tyler Steen. I actually really like that pick. I actually surprised him. He would I had him as a mid third rounder. The fact we got him stole him in the fourth is like. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. That wasn't the third round. Yeah, we had 2 third-round picks. But either way, really looking at this team and saying, it's gonna be interesting to see, knowing that, and the fact that it even hurts too, like, and it's like I really like this dude's mindset and where he comes from, and sometimes it's like, just he's so calm, cool, collected, like nothing really phases him. And the fact that, I mean, that's like, I think someone asked him, like, how's the contract? It's like, he said it's nice, but money's nice, but championships is better. It's
that right there. When I heard that, I wanted to go through 10 walls. I was so hyped.
I mean, the dude is wise beyond his years.
Like, this man really just said in a press conference. Yeah, I like the money, but the championships is what I want. That right there shows the goddamn pedigree this guy has as a player, as a leader.
And a ripe age of 24. And speaking of which, he'll be 25 this coming August 7th. So,
bro, enough, Damian, enough. He's gonna play.
Well, that's why we have veterans. Then again,
also, last time I checked, Damian, he already went to court, and last time I checked, he was found not guilty of it.
I mean, he had the community service, but that's pretty much about it.
Yeah,
and Jalen Carter himself, like he said, I mean, he made a dumb mistake. I mean, we're all human. Shit. I mean, shit. Is anyone going to bitch and complain about what happened to Laramie Tunsil when he got caught smoking pot before the draft, or when that infamous picture came out? No, but every time when it has to be something from a bigger school, like that proves an issue. Double standard.
And also, why are you acting like he was a Henry Ruggs in this situation?
Well, that's
He wasn't. He wasn't the one. What? Correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. Jalen Carter wasn't the one driving the car.
I don't think he was.
He was not the one driving the damn car. So for you to go, oh, good luck with the broke. No, that's completely wrong. And also, like I said, get your facts straight. He went to court. He already was found not guilty.
I want to. To the
He
kitty
did
corner.
not run a dude. Where the hell are you hearing this shit?
He's going to the kitty corner.
Where in the hell are you hearing this shit, Damien?
And the fact that
he did not run from them damn cops.
Yeah, I mean, Arco said it. I mean, why do you think Gooley?
Nothing what he said. Nothing about what was reported, what was said by news reporters, by anybody, that he was running from freaking cops. None of that was true, what you said.
But yeah, I mean, so far though,
if he did what he did and he got arrested for it and he was charged for it, he would have not been able to be in the draft.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
But knowing that, I mean, he repaid his dues, so I mean,
he paid his dues. He owned up to it. The league accepted him.
What, Jeffrey?
The league accepted him in so that he could get drafted.
I mean, plus too.
Most fans have accepted him. Some of the fans are like you, Damien, saying, "Oh, he should be in prison."
It's not like Henry Ruggs, who's actually going to have to spend at least 3 years behind bars.
This is completely different from Henry Ruggs. Completely different because Henry Ruggs actually drove the car that he killed somebody with.
Yeah, that is. But I mean, and Tyler, also think of this too. Remember the another thing that they knocked on Jalen Carter was his weight issue. When I saw him, in some parts of training camp, the dude was in a phenomenal shape. It's like, what?
I think before going to the draft, he did gain a little bit of weight. But then again, like before the draft, he did, work out and go. So that did have a valid point there.
So it looks like we might be cross.
It's just what angers me is the people that think his, quote unquote, legal issue was his fault.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, and in terms of the rest of the rookies that I've been seeing, they're actually cross-training Tyler's team to play right guard. So it's most likely that Cam Jerkins could have potential, and he could be a backup center. But then again, he is pretty much a backup center anyway. So I mean, but yeah, Ty, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just watching, Bo Jackson light some people up.
Dude, Bo Jackson was a fucking animal back in the day. Well, I know me and Tyler can't really say much because
it's taking like 6 guys to just bring him down. I'm watching a Raiders versus Seahawks from like 1987. So
yeah, so I mean,
I'm still here. I'm just paying attention to this game. And Bo Jackson is just amazing me right now. Like, what the hell? It took like 6 guys.
Look at Jalen Carter, 6'3", 315 pounds. I mean, so far, especially part of that best run defense that Georgia has had. Logged 37 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and 1 pass break in 15 games. Now he's going to be playing alongside Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Hassan Reddick on the edge, and potentially his other teammate, Nolan Smith. And there's been talks that we might be cross-training Noah Spitz to be a linebacker. Oh, good Lord.
Actually, he can play D-line. He can also play linebacker.
That's
that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Because look at what we did for what's his face? Shit. The guy who was sacking everybody like last year for us.
You're tough. No, it's not Hargrave. That was That's not Nakobe Dean because he had to be redshirted and he actually had a
It's
role.
not. No, I'm talking about the guys at the line.
Oh,
Nakobe is linebacker.
wasn't
Shit.
it might have been Hargrave.
No, I'm talking about a guy who was a linebacker, and we traded him, and he was a D lineman for us
Oh,
now. Really fucking good.
Oh, son of a bitch! That's gonna drive me nuts. Who the fuck is it?
Hold on. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know for sure. Hmm.
Bro, it's the easiest freaking person to name too.
Who? What?
Hassan Reddick.
Oh, for the
My
love of...
brain.
I had
a brain
Oh
fart.
my god, I'm gonna really hate myself. Not really.
Bro, we had a brain fart. It happened.
But shit.
Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick was normally a linebacker when he was with Arizona, and we put him at edge. Put him at edge rusher, and he's lights out since.
But because his primary position was an edge rush before Arizona and Carolina had him as a linebacker.
Yeah.
But regardless, I had 3 different teams, 10 plus sacks.
Yeah. And he was actually really, really good at linebacker too.
So I mean, shit, and look at the linebackers though. But Nakobe Dean could have be up there, but maybe Nolan Smith. Oh, geez, that'd be a crazy duo. Even look at the safety room too. If we decide to go too high safety, we could do Reed Blankenship.
Damian. It was not reported that he left the crime scene.
I mean, all I've seen was that he actually right now is under probation right now, but he already served his 80 year. Already paid I think it was like $1,000 fine, and this is coming from the Philadelphia Inquirer that I just brought up. Looking at that, so either way,
fine.
His kid was dropped regardless.
And probation isn't where your job can't take you. I don't know where you hear that at. He can literally still work in the NFL under probation.
It's not like where
it's not like the guy's under house arrest.
Yeah, or another guy that had a lot of potential, but made his dumb decisions, and that's Henry Ruggs, unfortunately.
Yeah, Henry Ruggs is completely banned from the league. He's in prison right now. He did go to a retrial, but they still found him guilty, which obviously he's still guilty of it. He was the one driving the car drunk that killed
should have been
another person.
Yeah, so but yeah, I mean that is true sometimes. I will give you benefit of the doubt on that.
Yeah, you can't leave the country. That's the thing. You can't leave the country. And I'm pretty sure. Do we have a London game or a German game this year?
I don't think so.
Because if we don't, then he's fine.
Well, we have to wait to see what the schedule's looking like. Because usually we never play overseas anyways. Because that's like teams like the Jaguars.
I think we played one time against the Jags in London. One time.
I know the Giants did.
And that was the first time we played in London as the Super Bowl defending Super Bowl team, 2018. Like we were the first winning team to go to London. But by that point we were like 2-5.
Yeah, remember when everyone jumped off ship? Woo-hoo-hoo! That was that was something. Looking back at it. Yeah, you're right. It was week 8 against. Oh wow, I forgot if we actually played in London. I should tell you, yeah. I forgot about that.
We remember we were 2-5, and the players on both ends were complaining about the field conditions.
Yeah. Actually, we also did. Yeah, I think they're running 20. Yeah, 20. Oh yeah, because
It was
actually,
2018. It was 2018. I remember that.
I forgot about that. That should tell you that's not a good look.
No, not really. Not really. Like not a good look. It's more of like time passed so freaking much, dude.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we're
Like
2023, barely
2023 and 2018 was like what?
almost in the span of 5 years.
Almost 5 years. Like 5 years ago.
And not to mention, too, we're almost halfway at 2023 for Christ's sakes. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Like this year just fucking started. Like what the fuck?
Dude, I just turned fucking
25, and this year's already going by quickly. It's shit's fucking crazy, but it's been a lot of fun. I mean, like I said, I had a lot of fun. Had a lot of pretty much it was just me because I actually did want to do something for my mom too. So knowing that Mother's Day is coming a weekend now.
I'm sorry you booked tickets for the game that they lost.
Hey, look, like I said, even though they lost, I still had a lot of fun because this is my first time being out of Phillies game in years. You know, it says
last time I went to a Phillies game, I think it was 2011.
Last time my grandfather went was in 2019, and last time me and my grandfather went to a playoff game, it was in 2009. I think like the final game of the LCS against the Dodgers.
You saw the final game of the LCS.
I remember like it's yesterday. Jimmy Rollins with a walk-off hit on Jonathan Broxton and wins it for the Phillies to go and to book their trip to the World Series. And unfortunately, you lost in 5 fucking games to the goddamn Yankees bastards.
Goddamn stankies.
Fuck. Then again, sucks to be them actually speaking of which. So honestly, I'm not watching it. Let's be real. The way how everything's kind of been going on, fuck no.
What are you not watching?
Backlash, because the way how that's been kind of been built, it's been god
awful.
The
only match that I'm actually like kind of intrigued for is I think Bad Bunny and Damien. That's it.
I think also Austin Theory's on the card too, defending his United States Championship.
Yeah, Austin. Yeah, again,
that's been 2 good matches that I don't mind.
And then the rest are like throwaway. Like
it's just been that entire show's been kind of like a throwaway show, shall we say?
Like it's so dumb now, dude.
It's sad. I mean, that's also crazy too. I mean, also, man. Tyler, I don't know if you saw the photo that I showed in the group chat of how many tickets have been sold for AEW All In.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, golly.
Yeah, and again, they sold that place out.
And by the way, too, Tyler, to make you happy, the Yankees are in last place in the AL East.
Such bliss that I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, I will say that the WWE that draft was not needed. I'm sorry, that was a bunch of bullshit. From what I've been hearing,
I sincerely hope that it's not true what you told me earlier. I really hope.
Well, it sounds like it's true to me.
If it is, dude, I'm gonna be so angry.
I mean, and Triple H and I mean, shit. I mean, it came from Triple H's mouth apparently because the deal's still not finalized with Endeavor.
It came from Triple H's mouth, but
it sounds like it smells.
It smells like Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah, you can smell it's. I know.
That's a Vince move. That is a.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, I know it sounds weird that we smell that it's a Vince move, but we've seen over the years like what's a Vince move and what's a Triple H move, depending on. It depends on how you look at the product.
Yep.
But yeah, Urku. Then again, it can't be said for Yankees fans because man, it's just funny.
I just really hope that Brian Cashman is finally fired after that.
Oh, so I know some people want Aaron Boone out,
and Aaron Boone too, but it's more so Brian Cashman because he has done shit for that team.
It's funny too. I actually watched an interview with Bryce Harper. He actually said the only one team that ever talked to him was the Yankees. And Yankees fans are so pissed that they never got Bryce Harper. So thank you for that. But I mean, I will say this too. Oh, jeez, the fact that Harper came back in 100, what, under 160 days from Tommy John, it's like that's just not fucking human. There's no goddamn way. But then again, it also stands to the fact, yeah, he's a position player, so. Okay. Shit. Well, Pitts. But man, it's been Ty, you good over there?
Dude, I'm trying to work on my charger. Hold on.
Nah, charger issues.
Sam, check my charger connection. Shut up. There we go. All right, this is annoying, man. I'll just hold it like that. But
yeah, trust me, I know how that feels, but especially using with an Android.
Bro, but the problem mine is like there's like a piece inside the port itself that's like broken.
It like, just won't stay in place. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Check your charger connection.
Trust me, Tyler. I feel you, man. That's the reason why I made a switch to the iPhone. And yay.
All right, got it.
You got it?
Yep. But dude. The key to not being mad, Philly fans.
It was. I was supposed to say it's alcohol, but that's a whole nother.
That too, but
not gonna lie, Bud Light tastes like shit. Sorry, bro. My mom had a full can of Bud Light. She pretty much drank it all. I took a sip of it. Nah, did not like it whatsoever.
Bruh.
I'm sorry, man. Bud Light tastes like shit.
What does not? Do you even know what shit even tastes like?
Well, why did you even ask that question? But so far,
then exactly, bro.
But I will say this too. But man, chickens and peas, crab fries. If you're man, y'all,
I could take down a whole goddamn container of that shit,
dude. It's so fucking great. Even though it's just seasoned fries with side of cheese. And you can't even ask nothing but better than that. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, with Old Bay seasoning. It's basically what we have on it.
Yeah, it's just Old Bay seasoning. It's basically Old Bay seasoned fries, but we call them crab fries.
Crab fries. And there were a bunch of hot sellers tonight at the Phillies game because it was such a long line for crab fries. I was like, son of a bitch. So,
bro. Dude, that's why when I go to a Phillies game, unless it's like the last time I went to a Phillies game, all I got was a hot dog with all the condiments on it, except for onions. Don't do onions.
Really?
Yeah, I don't do. I
never knew that.
Onions.
I do the entire works: the ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise. I put mayonnaise on a hot dog.
Oh, I don't do the mayonnaise on hot dogs.
Oh, but, come on. But yeah,
I do ketchup mustard. I do the classic ketchup mustard, and then I just have like a Pepsi or a Coke.
What, Rafi? So Rafi,
what's up, man? But yeah, it's like I only do like a Pepsi or a Coke. That's it.
Oh yeah, actually, surprisingly, I still kept the collector's cup from the game,
right,
with a large Coke.
Bro, I still got the baseball that was signed by Chase Utley.
That's so fucking crazy.
Still there, dude.
And it's like,
bro, that was like the first like actual celebrity that I met / sports.
Yeah.
Athlete. Like I've never met anybody, before that.
Damien, I don't blame you. Well, it depends on who you're asking. For me, if you have like a sweet Fidel Young shit, I could eat that like a fucking apple if I wanted to.
Wait, what? Yeah, that's what I do too, man. I only do
especially having that on the top of the burger with ketchup, mustard, pickles, the entire works. That's a thumbs up for me. But I mean, even on a hot dog too, is actually not that bad either. With that, because I usually go for in terms of like the works I usually would do on a hot dog, it's ketchup, mustard, relish, chopped onion, some and pretty much the standard works on a hot dog. And that's right too. And I'm also planning to, because me and my grandfather were actually talking about this too during the Phillies game. But yeah, for me, I would say onions overall, it's kind of like an acquired taste for some people. Some it depends on who you're asking. Like sometimes they'll like it crunchy, or like Damien said, caramelized onions is not that bad either. So I mean,
it's not. But off the topic of food, before I get too hungry, okay, because
oh, trust me, I got fucking brownies. Like, well, yeah,
I had fucking pizza.
I had like pizza. So far, when I ate at the Phillies game, I had 2 slices of pizza and 4 hot dogs, basically.
God damn, you can put food away.
Dude, I was fucking hungry. Hey, look, can't beat it. I mean, look, can't be at a ballpark without getting a Philly Frank, basically.
But fucking 4 of them?
Oh yeah, dude, I can munch those. But yeah, so
Bro's like, I'm too hungry for this. I'm eating the pain away.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I still had fun at the Phillies game though, regardless with the winner or loss by the Phils. It was still fun nonetheless. Did that?
Yeah, it's always fun. I remember like the game I went to. It was against the Cubs, and it rained. There was a rain delay. I think it was in the 6th or 7th inning. So I'm there for a while. It's getting rained out, and it's on a freaking school night.
Yeah,
it's getting rained out. It's like 9:30 at night, and then like as soon as we're going home, most anticlimactic finish happens, and we were like, oh crap, we gotta leave. It's the 8th inning, and it's like 10 o'clock at night. We gotta get you home. Because I think it was like a teacher that took me, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh crap, we got to get you home." So we were gone, and then all I hear is that the Cubs walked off the Phillies. I'm like, God damn.
Well, at least I think it's true. At least the teacher saved you the pain of watching the Phils lose in the most.
I was like, are you kidding? I had to hear it on the radio.
Yeah.
I'm like, they really walked it off in
That's a very good question.
After a freaking rain delay. I'm like, are you kidding?
It could be, then again, who is actually available right now? Because Mike Budenholzer, that's actually kind of surprising they actually fired Mike Budenholzer.
Honestly, not really, because he had that fluky 2020
the 2021 season?
Yeah, that 2021 season. Where they won the championship.
Yeah, the first time.
And then they couldn't get out of the semis. And then they couldn't get out of the first round this year.
And I've always said this too. The only way that team doesn't really operate is if you don't either have Chris Middleton or Giannis. When Giannis is out, that team is
that team sucks. That team
I was about to say I couldn't think of any other word for it because it's like because they pretty much rely on both.
You have a regressing Drew Holiday on the team.
Even though
he regressed.
Had that. Like I said, that 1 year when he had was actually really good, was actually pretty fluky.
That one good season with us in 2012.
Yeah, before we shipped his ass out,
and then we shipped him out. He had an okay season wherever he went next after that.
I mean, he had it okay with the. It's not just him. I mean, look at Iguodala and the kind of success he's had after since
Iguodala. He spent 1 year in Denver. Gets traded to the Warriors, wins a championship. I'm like,
3 of them, by the way. 3 fucking rings. That's like, why?
3 freaking rings. I think 2 of them he barely played in the finals.
Yeah.
Like, barely.
Or if you go back to that Hawks series, Lou Williams fucking torched us. I was like, are you shitting me? Even though I really had no disrespect towards Lou Williams, but the fact he did that, it's like, yeah, I get it.
As a freaking 6-man.
It's like what the hell? I'm thinking to myself, as a longtime section, I followed this team since 2001, and I've never seen guys like Iguodala, Holiday, depending who you're asking, Lou Williams. I mean, shit, I remember days when and before that we had like big man problems.
I really don't see Mark Jackson leaving ESPN. He would be a good pick. Don't get
It's
me
just like the
wrong.
NBA is blackballing him for whatever reason.
Not really. The NBA is backballing him. It's just that he's tied up with ESPN right now.
Nick Nurse is an option, but I think he might be.
Nick Nurse is. He might get him to the playoffs, but we don't know what Nick Nurse we're getting. He had the similar trajectory as Budenholzer.
Yeah, Budenholzer.
Or he had that fluky season in 2019.
Yeah, because the one guy was Kawhi Leonard, for crying out loud.
Because Kawhi Leonard just carried him.
Yeah, fuck that lucky bounce, you stupid son of a bitch.
I don't want to. No, I was trying to avoid that. I was trying to avoid that.
I'm sorry, I had to get that out.
I didn't want to talk about that shot.
It
shouldn't have fell. It should not have fell, and we should have went to the
who That's a good question, though. That there's not very many coaches out there that have gotten fired.
Thinking about it, I would try to lure Mark Jackson out of ESPN.
That's gonna have to give him an offer that he can't refuse. That's the thing.
Yeah, you would have to give him a monster contract.
And that's another thing too. And
I don't know if that would hurt a team or if it would.
I really don't know too.
Like you would really have to give Mark Jackson.
We see. Steven Silas is not going to be a good option because we saw that with the Houston Rockets. That
was trash.
And honestly, congrats to Houston. Actually, finally got themselves a good one. Minus the off the court bullshit. Even though that's a whole other story another day.
I wouldn't say his religious beliefs. Honestly,
but I think he has something said in a way. Almost so not religious beliefs. But I know he did. I don't know exactly what he did, but he's getting away partially getting blackballed by the NBA from getting a job because remember he was also tied with the Lakers before they set up with Darvin Ham. I think a lot of people.
Oh right.
Yeah, so a lot of teams were going after Mark Jackson, but it was not from me, not just because of ESPN, but the NBA really just never liked him. Trying to think who else is still out there. That's a really tough.
The only ones I know is what Damian had said: Nick Nurse, Mark Jackson.
I know,
the former guy from the Rockets who sucked.
So yeah, Steven Silas. He stinks. I know Dante would say the exact same thing because the dude.
I know. After the season, eventually Doc Rivers is going to go.
I think Doc Rivers can just retire.
At this point, don't go to another team. Just end it. Just end it. You had that one fluky season with Boston. That's it. Couldn't coach the Clippers. He couldn't coach
I forgot about Kenny Smith. I forgot about him.
Kenny Smith Kenny Smith's not leaving inside. He ain't leaving that group.
I'm trying to think, who's he coaching nowadays?
What, Kenny Smith?
Yeah.
Kenny Smith's on inside with the NBA.
Oh.
He's the former Rocket.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he actually even played. So
he's on inside the NBA with Shaq and Charles and on TNT.
No matter what.
There's no way in hell you're breaking up that dynamic.
No, you're not doing especially how Charles Barkley says some questionable shit. It's like, dude, there's some poly.
No. Do you know what's funny?
Dude.
He doesn't mean to sound dirty, but Shaq just dies. Because he's in the gutter, and he's just like
it's like gutter, almost 24. Shit. There's there's one TikTok page that actually has all the different moments where he says
this dude's like, I've been juggling some balls, and you have Shaq over here just hiding his face laughing.
And I think Ernie Johnson said, "Is that what you're doing?" I just started dying when Ernie said that. It's like, is that
Ernie said that shit? Yo, when Ernie said, "Oh, is that what you're doing?"
The Ernie Johnson never changed.
Freaking died. I'm like, wow.
So apparently, you got Wes Unseld Jr., but the Wizards are keeping him next season.
Yeah,
I don't know why they. There's really not much to go off of. Outside of Steven Silas got was there. Mike Budenholzer got moved on from. Pistons, they moved from their head coach, but they actually moved him to the front office.
Yeah, he was
I don't
demoted
know
to
if Larry
front
Bird
office.
actually coached. I don't know if that's a possibility.
Who?
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird. He did coach in the early 2000s. He did coach. Remember, he coached the Pacers in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He coached the Pacers. Yes.
Actually, that was a pretty decent pay. I mean, so
He actually almost got him to the finals a bunch of times.
That's fucking crazy. Looking back at it, I mean, shit, you got Kenny.
He was a phenomenal coach. It was just that he just didn't make the necessary adjustments to win games in the playoff.
Actually, wonder.
So I wouldn't mind Larry Bird returning to coaching. I really would not mind that.
I mean, shit, I think any team would need him, dudes. I mean, you still got
is Larry Brown retired?
I mean, that's what I've been asking. Like, can we bring him out of retirement? He was one because, I mean, like I said, I mean, I've been a fan since 01. I mean, Larry Brown has some really, and then look at that 2001 team. That's some really good names on that roster outside of AI.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem that they had though. In that finals, they were so badly depleted with injury.
Oh yeah, that was just an injury. I was like, wow.
That it seemed like AI was the only guy out there.
Yeah, that's.
You had this guy playing with a broken leg or a torn something, or it was like. Then you had freaking what's his face?
Let me.
You had your top stars injured except for AI, basically.
AI was pretty much like Iron Man on that for the 76ers.
He carried that team to the finals. You can't tell me different because
absolutely not.
A lot of these guys were injured even in the earlier rounds of the playoffs that year.
I mean, shit, if you think about it, I actually pulled it up on Basketball Reference. He had Raja Bell, Rodney Buford, Matt Geiger, Tyrone Hill, AI, Jermaine Jones, Tony Kurcic, George Lynch, Todd McCulloch, Vernon Maxwell, Aaron McKee, Rashawn McLeod.
You mean Tony Kukoc?
Kukoc. I apologize for butchering.
The guy from the freaking Bulls, we had him?
Yeah, he's 6'10", 192 pounds.
Holy shit, we got that's Kukoc. Kukoc, that's his name.
Yeah, Kukoc.
That's Kukoc.
What up, Steve?
He was a part of that, 90s Bulls.
Yeah,
he was part of the 90s Bulls.
He was part of that that finals roster in 2001. You had Vernon Maxwell, Todd McCulloch, Aaron McKee, Rashawn McLeod, Anthony Miller, Nazir Muhammad, DK Mutombo, Theo Ratliff, Kevin Ollie, Pepe Sanchez, and Eric Snow.
That's one hell of a roster.
But I don't remember
for Aaron 2001. That is one hell of a roster. Finals,
you had Mutombo was banged up. McKee, I felt was banged up. Eric Snow definitely was banged up.
Yeah, you had McKembe.
That roster was banged up.
You had Dikembe banged up. Eric Snow banged up. McKee banged up. Freaking Kukoc is banged up at some point. I forgot
he was actually banged up in the finals.
He was banged up. So literally, your starting five, except for AI, was banged up.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Like that's why they lost in the finals. I think we would have took maybe 3 games. Probably. Yeah,
the only time we beat like I said, speaking of that,
when AI stepped over Tyler.
Oh God. Because the reason, the most one of the
he shoots a 3 and then just steps over him with some freaking authority.
And it's just like it's ironic how it's funny that Ty Lue doesn't really mention that or really want to talk about it because I know that pretty much hurt that man's
Bro, that hurt his freaking soul. And you could tell when I think it was like one time where AI went and hugged Ty Lue, You could see the pain in that man's eyes.
Then again, he's not the first person that AI AI embarrassed. Remember, he calls across like Michael Jordan
Dude,
in his rookie year.
I look at that highlight and I'm like, I can't believe that happened.
Like
That
you
really
cannot tell
happened.
me. Look at that night from the roster for the 82-83 season for the Sixers when they actually won the championship. You had Anderson, Maurice Cheeks, Earl Carrington, Franklin Edwards, Dr. J, Mark Ivoroni, Clement Johnson, Reggie Johnson, Bobby Jones, Moses Malone, Mark McNamara, Clinton Richardson, Russ Schoen, and Andrew Toney.
People really think the Big Three era started in the 2010s.
In reality, there's a lot.
1983. You had Mo Cheeks, you had
Dr. J,
Dr. J, and you also had Moses Malone.
and
That is
Bobby
a big three right there.
and Bobby Jones revolutionized the 6-man position. Without him,
And
like they're
and you rounded it out with him. You rounded it out with him, but you had Dr. J, Moses Malone, and Mo Cheeks. Your big three.
I mean, in 1983, actually, we went 65-17 in 1983. In 82, and it was still an 82 game season. So pretty much, I'm sorry, that's right. We swept the Bull. We took. That's right. Oh wow. Sorry, Lakers. So we went to the Eastern Conference semifinals. We swept the Knicks. So that's kind of funny. We swept. We didn't say we swept the Bucks. We won that series 4-1 over the Bucks, and we swept the Lakers for the NBA Finals. So, if we go back to from 81 to 82, we went 58-24, and unfortunately, we fell to the Lakers. And speaking of that, and going back to throughout the playoffs, we had the Sixers who won two games to nothing over the Atlanta Hawks. What did that fucking? Okay, I'm not going to question that. But we beat the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games. We took Boston in 7 games. We beat them. For whatever reason, that was the only team we actually can beat back in the early 80s for whatever reason. And we lost in 6 to the Los Angeles Lakers. And speaking of the Lakers from 81 to 82, let's just see who they had on the roster. If the shit can load, but that's be fantastic. So in terms of the 81-82 Lakers, you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jim Brewer, Michael Cooper, Clay Johnson, Magic Johnson, Eddie Jordan, Mitch Kupchak, Mark Landsberger, Bob McAdoo, Mike McGee, Kevin McKenna, Norm Nixon, Jamal Wilkes, and Kurt Rambis.
When you got guys like Ben McAdoo, Magic Johnson, and Kareem,
yeah, you're
screwed. You were screwed. You were so screwed. Like that right there tells you. What's your thoughts on Devontae Smith's Alabama top 5 list?
Mark
Julio
Cooper was from
Jones,
Alabama? I don't remember that.
There's a top 5 list. Julio Jones,
Cooper, Ridley,
and Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith. Kind of funny he put himself there.
I mean, you gotta love Smitty. But then again, Julio Jones, yeah, that's kind of funny. If you had to do like a top five, Alabama receivers in the last, 10, 15 years, for me, it's definitely, Julio Jones for me is always going to be number one. I mean, the dude's still one of the greatest receivers, the 2010s? No.
Yeah, 2010s, because he was around 2010s.
Yeah, before unfortunately, man, that dude fell off a cliff hard.
Yeah, he went hard.
Went from a multiple 1,000-yard receiver to where he is now. Yeah, that's just it's crazy too. I mean, think about it too. How the Eagles have been putting themselves together, and and this is what, and compared to all right, give me one. But yeah, so and that's the thing too of what I heard. I mean, ironic though. Look, yes, I'm one of those people where I was skeptical of Hurts in 2020. It's just like, what are we doing? And it's just
Here's the
like,
thing. It wasn't that I was skeptical of the guy. I was sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, we're about to Aaron Rodgers the hell out
out
of
of Carson.
Carson Wentz."
Well, we kind of found out.
Kind of found out why he was kind of a dickhead in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
we
there
had
have
to
been
get
a lot
rid
of stories, reports coming out of how, well, it's Carson Wentz just acting like a total diva. And yeah, the fact that what 3 years, almost 4 years later, it's really turned out really well
It turned out fantastic.
for a guy that was a second rounder, doubted by everybody, and
Man, it's like,
yeah,
you know what? You think I can't throw? Let me throw for almost 3,000 yards in this season. Oh, you think I don't have what it takes to win in a playoff game? Let me show you twice.
yeah, and
Oh,
actually,
you don't think I can
I can
hang
throw the
with?
football.
You don't think I can throw the football and hang with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl?
And they
Let me
fucking
show you.
did.
He did.
And think about it
No,
too. He was
like,
a close runner up, and it was a very close, from one mistaken too, it was a very close MVP race between the two.
but injury got to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he
But then
couldn't win.
again, I don't think Hurts would have cared
He didn't
anyway.
care. He didn't care.
That's just like
Did Nick Sirianni care about winning Coach of the Year? He didn't care.
I mean, actually no, that was Brian Dable who got the Coach of the Year.
Or no, I know that, but I'm saying he was in the running, but he didn't win. Do you think he cared about
Yeah, I
that?
mean, like these
No,
are like regular season awards.
He did not care.
The goal is win a Super Bowl. That really was all it matters.
That was what they said too. The goal was to win the Super Bowl. Granted, they didn't do it because the defense was ass.
But knowing that, not gonna lie, I think our defense might be a lot better than on paper than it was last year in terms of the talent. And knowing that what I've read into Sean Desai, who is part of the Vic Fangio tree, but got to give him where credit is due. I mean, the dude did, especially if we look at that 2021 Bears team. Yeah, not have the flashiest names on paper, but they were top 4 in the league in sacks in 2021. Like with not in a way like good names, but they still got not a good season, but defensively they were pretty decent under Sean Desai.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's why I like that so much, because the Bears last year defensively was not a bad team, like you said, not bad. The only problem that they have over there in Chicago was basically offensive line and
maybe a few receivers here and there, but that's pretty much
maybe,
about it.
Maybe 1 or 2 receivers, but it was mostly the line.
And the fact they did that a lot in the draft too, which is
awesome.
And absolutely, and not just that too. Their linebackers was a bit of a big need as well, but not really were talked about in terms of their linebacking core. So, it's gonna be interesting to see what Bears fans. Good luck with TJ. I mean, look, I don't think, like I said, we can say from experience, TJ Edwards by any stretch, no stretch to me, is not a bad player whatsoever. But if you can stick to his strengths, you should be fine. You should be really fine.
TJ Edwards, Chicago. TJ Edwards is a guy who can get to the quarterback.
Yeah, Damien, I remember. Yeah, when you traded Roquan, oh boy, your defense took a hit. Woohoo! That was was something.
That took a massive hit as soon as Roquan.
Yeah,
that's that line could not get to the quarterback.
It's not just Roquan too. I mean, they traded also Robert Quinn too. Even though he really didn't do shit for us anyway. So I mean,
he didn't do jack shit for us.
Even though he's already
because I mean, he did some things when he was healthy, but he just could not manage to stay healthy. That was the issue. But you guys got a good return with TJ. And TJ could get you TJ could get to the line. That's the thing. He could actually mask some of the defensive issues at the line.
But just don't have him in pass coverage nowadays. That's the downside.
Don't do not start him when you're doing. You could take him out and put your other linebacker in, whomever that may be. Put him in
Oh yeah,
to do pass coverages. But don't have him in to do pass coverages. Don't have TJ in to do pass coverages because he is
but if
not
you have
good
him,
at that.
if you need like him as a, if you need like a run stopper,
Oh, he'll
TJ
get you
Edwards
there.
is that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, we're not saying he's a bad player. It's just like he's just in a way one dimensional. Is basically what we're saying.
Yeah, he is a one-dimensional linebacker.
But
That's all we got rid of.
if you can somehow help him with this pass coverage, well, that's gonna be a deadly combo with him. But we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, knowing that NFC North is gonna be it's gonna be an interesting division to watch outside of ours.
What's
It's
gonna
no,
happen? What's gonna happen to the Packers? They just lost Aaron Rodgers. How is Jordan Love gonna perform?
not gonna lie, Arku, I actually had Massey Smith in this as a second rounder because
I kind of agree with that. I really agree with that because I saw, some of the highlights that the draft was showing, and he can get you some stops with the run. He can do that. I
yeah,
do
and
I
that was
do
and
agree with that. I do
you
agree with
know,
that. I like the Massey Smith pick because of that for
well,
you
yeah, because
guys.
I think we're correct me if I'm wrong. The run defense was not great for Dallas. I know it was kind of
No,
ironic as us Eagles fans kind of pointing out the fact that yeah, the run defense stunk with Dallas's. I don't like not say shocking, but it's kind of surprising. But then again, like we're just trying to see, like what's it? Oh, I gotta love Bears fans.
Packers can eat dog shit. Damn it.
Well, they can do that already because right now I actually have them as the bottom dweller.
Yeah, they're probably already eating dog
I want
shit.
to. Now it's going to be interesting. The top three. That's going to be. I might say Detroit's going to take. It's going to be very close between Detroit, Minnesota, and Chicago. I think Chicago's going to take a bit of a jump forward. Now that all depends with Justin Fields. So can you protect him long enough to where he can win you games? I mean, shit. Let's be real. Yeah, we know that firsthand before we let's be real. Look goddamn awful against the Bears, but that's
Didn't we just lose 25-20?
I think
We
we
win
beat them.
25-20?
I think so. And then unfortunately that came into this inexpensive Jalen Hurts' shoulder.
Yeah, I
But
really don't think. No, we didn't lose. We won 25-20.
yeah, barely scraped by the Bears. But and
Yeah.
that's the thing too, where I really do like where the Bears are and what their mentality is. They're a scrappy young team that's, trying to figure out where they're gonna go. And like I said, Fields has got man, in a better situation. Could have
But
been a lot.
if he has a line, that man can sling the rock. He can sling it.
If you also need him run the football, and that kid can run the football better than
Oh yeah, he can
along with the guys
run,
like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, if you really need to, depending on what the situation.
dude. That man made us look like we were the slowest team in football. Like he can run over us.
And that
This
is true,
Jalen,
Steve. That's a very good point. That the Packers have been blessed with a great quarterback play over the last 40 years. Favre, Rodgers, Starr. If you're an older Packers fan, let me know who else am I missing. It is going to be interesting.
but yeah, dude. Like, then honestly, I'm going to 3 decades because I'm not gonna count Star. When we were like, I'm counting when we were alive.
Yeah.
We had literally two of the best generational quarterbacks
For
for the
the
Pack in our
yeah.
lifetime. We had Brett Favre. He started in the '90s. For some reason, the Falcons were dumb enough to trade him there.
Yeah, dude. And
He popped off in the '90s, and then he popped off in the 2000s.
no, I
Got
will say
got
where
them to the playoffs, and then they traded him after a phony retirement for some freaking reason. And then they get Rodgers
yeah, in '05.
in
It's funny
'05.
looking back at that draft class. I mean, they actually had Rodgers being the number one overall pick. And it's like, yeah, look how well that turned out the last 15 some odd years later. No, I'm not saying
Here's the thing. Here's the goddamn thing. He would have been actually a decent first round pick.
what
Knowing going back, from the future. Like we're from the future here. That would have been still a good pick.
That'd be a good pick for the 49ers too.
Just like having a guy who took a team to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl in 2010.
And unfortunately, yeah.
And then multiple NFC Championship appearances.
Yeah, and a future Hall of Famer at that.
That's all. That's great. That's a good resume for a first round draft pick.
Absolutely.
Like
but
you can't knock that.
You really can't. But could you imagine, like, say, if Rodgers just gets on with it, could you imagine him walking to the Vikings and just follow the same footsteps as Brett Favre? And that's just gonna be a lot of funny. But at the end of the day, not Brett Favre, but Rodgers is a Hall of Famer at the end of the day. Like, let's be real. His resume speaks for itself. Now, would have been nice to see him win more Super Bowls? Yeah, sure. It's just they couldn't do it. Mike McCarthy, well, I know.
Mike McCarthy is just a shit play caller. In crunch time. Like, he is terrible at crunch time.
Yeah. Sorry, Arku. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to see that firsthand because we saw that. Woohoo!
God damn, Damien. God
damn. Pause, Damien.
Shit. Yo, I am not gonna reread what he just said, guys. Y'all can just read the comments because I am not rereading that shit.
Well, look at the Bears pick so far.
I'm over here dying right now.
Well, that's Damien for you. But in terms of what the Bears picked so far this year's draft, they took an offensive line. Oh wow, Mike Holmgren. I forgot. That's another one I forgot about.
Mike Holmgren, damn.
That's another one. Oof. And yet, I'm not saying this is sad, but it is kind of surprising that the Green Bay Packers only managed 3 Super Bowls out of Starr, Favre, and Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
When they could have had at least. But looking at the Bears, though, in terms of their draft selections, Darnell Wright, I thought that kid could look like very solid pick.
You know what, Damien?
Oh, come on.
He looks like Andy Reid. No, get it right. Mike Holmgren came before him. Andy Reid looks like Mike Holmgren, but fatter.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Dude, Andy Reid looks like Mike Holmgren, but fatter.
Got it. Oh God.
Yeah. Right.
That's yeah. I can see why people call him like the damn.
And that's why Andy Reid's the fat Mike Holmgren.
But then again, Andy Reid's. Yeah. See, I would see me and Tyler wouldn't know about that. Because that would have been what was the usual Super Bowl in February? Yeah, so that I was no.
I know about that. The legendary '98 Super Bowl.
Oh, with Favre and Elway.
It was the '97. It was the '97 season, but it was the '98 Super Bowl.
Even though it's kind of weird, but run with it.
But it was the '97 Super Bowl where Elway finally won the Super Bowl, and beat the Packers. Because remember, they had Shannon Sharp and the rest of those guys.
Not E.T. Oh, looks come on.
The kid from E.T. but fat. Damn.
But hey, Tyler, what also makes me happy, the Eagles got our boy Justin Makata under contract. He's going to be wearing some Kelly Green if that's the case. Yeah. He went undrafted and went to us in the undrafted free agent class. Joseph Nagata, the dude after the last few games where he finally reached over 1,000 yards as a receiver.
Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And he's the highest paid undrafted free agent in what we pay for. This team
is freaking loaded. Holy shit. Anyway.
But yeah, it's. God. Joseph Nagata. 6'3". He's like a 6'3" wide receiver at 216. That'll be a nice wide receiver 3.
Yep.
or wide
I think we
receiver
found our.
4.
I think we found our wide receiver 3. That's gonna be. Like I said, this team is loaded to the brim. Loaded.
Yeah,
So.
it's gonna be a lot of fun this season.
Mm-hmm. Anywho,
Let me take a oh, what? No, I meant type UFDA. Well, I don't know why I put R. So Terrell Davis, well, I know Champ Bailey
they
still
had they had they had a loaded team. You know,
Uncle
having Terrell
Shannon
Davis,
Sharp. Even
Champ
though I do love
Bailey.
how or like what was it? I think it wasn't the I don't know. What was he did like a celebration where he actually brought up a bottle of Hennessy, some black and white, literally
What?
drinking
Shannon
out,
Sharp? Shannon
yeah,
Sharp?
drinking alcohol on actual TV on
Dude,
first
that was him on Undisputed. I think it was after the Cowboys. Every time the Cowboys would lose, he would bring a bottle of freaking Hennessy and a freaking cigar. He would
in
smoke
a
the
black and
cigar
mild.
and
It's
drink
like
the Hennessy.
I
Hilarious as
him
hell.
and Stephen A. And look, I know Stephen A. Smith is it depends on who
Yo,
you're asking. It's 50-50
dude,
with.
Stephen A goes over the top with the shit.
It's just fucking funny. Him and him and Shannon
He
Sharp,
comes
and
in
that's
with a
why.
freaking cowboy hat, talks with a phony
And it's
southern
actually
accent. It's
kind
hilarious.
of cool to hear like kind of like Shannon Sharp's story where he actually like one of the reasons, yeah, he wanted to trade plays. He actually kind of looked up to his brother Sterling Sharp.
Yeah,
I think
because
it's
that was his older brother, I think, or his younger
yeah,
brother.
and the fact that he said like he wanted to trade places, and I think he said trade places. I don't remember because Sterling got it. I think from people remember, Sterling Sharp's career got cut short early due to like a severe injury. It's like.
Yeah, and he was, and then you had Shannon Sharp get the Hall of Fame career while his brother didn't, and he was like, man, if I could trade it with him, I would.
Yeah, it's just really couldn't feel bad. Oh, come on.
Mike
What?
Holmgren looks like the kid that team
Drama and a fook. Oh, I'm done. I'm done.
You know what? I'm gonna call it right now. Damien is a freaking roast master.
I mean, that's who Damien is, even though his
He's a
takes might be
freaking
outrageous.
roast master right now. What the
But
hell?
that being said, though, me and Tar are going to wrap it up here. It is about 1:30 in the morning. So, like I said, are probably, and then you'll probably can see us on Twitch this coming Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. If you guys haven't checked out the All Star Sports Twitter and Twitch, that is linked down below.
Who wants to watch me get a lead of, let's say, a 5-0 lead by the 5th or 6th inning, and then me blow it?
Oh, I cannot wait to.
That's probably gonna happen. Probably
Honestly,
gonna
then again,
happen,
it's
bro.
really been it's been a while since you and I did any games together. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. First time swimming on Twitch or the All Star Sports
So
Twitch.
I've never done this Twitch thing, so I'm like,
I mean,
but yeah, all I have to do is just like put in the code to my Xbox, and then it'll come on.
yeah. Well, for me as PlayStation players, we have it easier. We can just hit options and we can broadcast either YouTube or Twitch. So it's gonna be a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
I have the only option that I think I have on the Xbox is Twitch. So like
Yeah.
I can at least do that, but um I actually can stream, so it's like my very first Twitch stream, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for it. Not excited to get a blown lead. So I'm probably going to try my damnness for that not to happen. So
Well,
you
we'll
better
see
watch
come
yourself.
Thursday. That
I'm
being
not going to
said,
talk. I'm not going to talk mad shit. I'm just going to leave it at that. We'll see what
yeah,
happens.
yeah. Well, I know how someone's how
Because
that.
last time I talked mad shit in a video game, I got beaten.
Yeah.
And let me tell you. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I was talking mad shit. I
Oh
get
yeah,
W2K22 and I'm talking mad shit.
yeah. Took mad shit to Key and
The key, and then I won the first match.
oh,
I won the first match, right?
I think we lost like 4
Like,
straight.
yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm winning right now. I'm still talking shit after the first win. Key ramps up the goddamn pressure. I lose 5 straight. I'm like, are you kidding
it's
me?
pretty much in this moment. Say, isn't it? Is that at
It
this
was in that
moment he
moment.
knew he fucked
It
up.
was it was in that moment I knew I fucked
Fucked
up.
up. It's or is there's another meme like when you quick question. Honestly, I'm not shocked. I had a feeling she was going to go there regardless.
That's where I wanted her to go. I didn't. Everybody was like, "Oh, AEW, oh, New Japan
Yeah,
with Sasha." Like I'm like,
but
nah. Like I don't think she would go to
AEW
one
just
of
how to
those.
spite it, But
Just to spite the company that she worked
yeah,
for.
I don't think that's in Naomi's or Trinity's in
And
this
also,
case.
and also, and also, it wasn't in Sasha's case either to go to AEW to spite,
No,
WWE
because I
level.
mean
She
they
went to
screwed
New Japan. Like that's far
now.
from spiting.
Yeah, because they but then again, yeah, it's just yeah. Well, I'm trying to be nice because I mean, women's wrestling over Japan is a little bit different, shall we say? And yeah,
They
it's
they they actually highlighted it. They actually highlight it a little bit more
yeah, and it's
because they give the women their own company. But now, but now, since the merge with New Japan has now got a women's division.
yeah, and for the longest time, from what I remember, it was out. It was
And
just
it was just all men. It was just all men for a
yeah,
while.
yeah, and then
And
times have changed.
the women were just like, just valets that were there.
Yeah,
Just
that was
valets.
I would say that was not crazy, but it
The
also
only
took
the only one the only one that really, bothered me, and I'm like, this looks like some attitude era bullshit.
yeah, trust me, we'll see that come Monday.
Was the one guy from Bullet Club. He was in Bullet Club.
Oh,
I forgot who it was. Yeah,
are we
this
talking about the
girl, and
Kenny
she was
Omega
like
Bullet Club or talking about the AJ Styles Bullet Club?
Kenny Bullet Club, but it was also like the talent of AJ. It
Okay,
was like
so
this like
you still had
it
the
was
Good
like
Brothers still there.
this cool. It was this no, it was a Japanese guy. He was like this cool dude with like shades, and then like next he comes out with a scandalously dressed like
Oh,
valet. I forgot who it
I was going to
was.
see Ishimori, but that's all. That's late.
That
That was later on.
this was slightly before Ishimori, slightly.
God. Oh
Um,
no, that's going to drive me nuts. Well,
I think he was always teaming. I think he was either always teaming with Tai Chi or somebody else. But dude, like I'm like, this is the most attitude era bullshit that I've seen from this company.
yeah, it's and for those who have not seen our SmackDown reactions, not the current one, but from the Red Show, yeah, Tyler, welcome to the world of the Attitude Era. That's a lot of shit that, woohoo.
And we promise we will return to that on Monday for Monday Night
Raw is
Raw.
War, 1999.
From Raw's War 1999. We didn't do this Fridays for whatever reason, but
Well, yeah, because
we're
I
last
was out. I was pretty
Mondays.
much out all day, so I would
He
did
was
some for
he was
family.
out all day. Yeah, he was out all day. And also Monday, I don't know what happened there, but
I appreciate that. And yeah, and look, I'll say this too on CM Punk. I don't really don't think CM Punk is a bad guy and as
like
people are making.
listen, outside the wrestling business, I'm sure the guy's a great guy. That's fine. But when you're going into different wrestling companies and you're sitting there, and yes, you could say, "Oh, I was just supporting the wrestler." Nah, he really wasn't. You know what he was there to do? What he went to WWE to do last week. He was there to beg for a job. That's
Yeah,
all he was doing because AEW isn't going to want this guy back. WWE doesn't want this guy back. He was kicked out of the building where WWE Raw was
in Chicago, the United
in
Center.
Chicago. He was kicked out. Um, Goes to Impact to cheer on a friend. Now, was he there to cheer on a friend? He could have also been there to cheer on a friend, but really, the majority, the real reason and the big reason was to freaking get a job
Mm-hmm.
or to beg
Trying to
for a job.
think. So this had to been what? in terms of the Kenny. That's what 2016 Kenny Omega Bullet Club, because I'm trying to think of the members right now. You had Kenny Omega, you had the Good Brothers, Balak Fale was still there from the
No,
beginning.
no, the Good Brothers weren't there. The Good Brothers were not there.
No, that was
This was like after they had already gone to WWE in
right.
2016. You had Kenny Omega, Young Bucks,
Yeah, the Young
Balak
Bucks
Fale. You had
from the very beginning, which is fucking crazy.
he's still freaking there.
I
Then
don't
you
know why.
had you had Tamatonga Tongaloa, who had already since been kicked out.
No, and probably was underrated tag team all the whole
turned
time.
babyface. And then you had
Jesus, that's God. 2016 feels like so long time ago.
I'm looking up BC members. Hold on.
Yeah, that's dude, that is really tough to. $2016. I don't think it might have been Ishimori. Oh god, this is gonna drive me nuts. This is gonna drive me nuts. Okada. Oh man, this. Well, we'll see. Because I mean, yeah, because me and Tyler, we cannot think for the life of us. It's not Tomohiro Ishii. No. It has to be 2016. That's like on Ricochet, Fall Age, late Mark.
Oh, I found out who it was.
Who was probably somebody.
Yujiro Takahashi.
I would never would have guessed him,
bro. Like, dude, the guy came out in like this like fedora thing, sunglasses, a vest on. This is wrestling gear, basically. He also came out with a woman that was like scandalously
dressed,
like dressed, almost in her like underwear, kind of. And she also had like bunny ears and shit on. I'm like, this is some WWF type shit.
Yeah. See,
like
to be quite honest, I would never would have guessed him if that was the case.
Yeah, I tried to remember who it was, but yeah,
Jeff,
that was a far cry from where they portray women now in their company.
Yeah,
because that's how it was back in 2016.
So right now, because I'm actually looking at the other members. So apparently, okay, so apparently Ace Austin's part of Bullet Club.
Ace Austin is in ABC now, which is American Bullet Club.
Balak Foley's been there since 2013. Chase Owens, Chris Bay. Not a guy.
Chris Bay is tagging with Ace Austin in Impact.
Chris Bay is just phenomenal in the ring. I don't care what anybody says.
He's awesome. He is awesome. I like
him and Ace Austin.
They're awesome in the ring.
Clark Connors, don't know who the fuck that is.
He was a New Japan Dojo guy.
Dave Finley, they tagged him as the 7th leader.
He attacked
yeah, Evil
Jay White. He attacked Jay White, which was perceived that he was gonna leave New Japan. But yet you have Jay White still in Bullet Club in a subsidiary of Bullet Club.
Yeah, it's like a sub faction.
Dick Togo. That's also a heel faction. You would think that'd be a babyface faction.
No. I mean, they got Dick Togo. Sorry. I'm sorry. I had a Shaq moment there.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I had a Shaq moment there.
Did you picture it?
Oh man.
Did you picture that?
Yeah, like I said, I had a Shaq moment. My head was in the gutter, so that's a.
I'm done.
But yeah, so I have Doc Gallows. Apparently, Doc Gallows is still listed as president of Bullet Club, even though he's in WWE now.
Dude, I'm killing me.
Oh man, we gotta tell Key that we gotta.
All right.
But Doc Gallows, he's still listed as president in the Bullet Club. Evil actually as the sixth leader of Bullet Club still there.
Why is that still saying president? They're not in New Japan.
Could be
There's
like
no
I said, that kind of goes back to your point that could be a subsidiary with the OC.
Do you know how awesome that would be? But here's the thing. AEW is partnering with New Japan.
Yeah,
WWE isn't. So how does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense. Same with Carl Anderson, he as a second leader. Juice Robinson's still there, even though he's with AEW. Guido, Kenta Sho, Taji Ishimori, and Yujiro Takahashi's been there since 2014. But the past members is an interesting list. Adam Cole, Adam Page, AJ Styles, Bone Soldier.
Apparently. Oh yeah, that's Tai Chi. Tai Chi Ishimori. He's still doing it.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes, Cody Hall, El Fantasmo, El Terrible, Frankie Kazarian. I did not know that.
Wait, when did Frankie Kazarian?
He was there from February 11th, 2017 to March 10th, 2017.
What?
Yeah, that's surprising to me. Gino Gambino, Hikuleo. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I mean, him and Jay White had that match. And speaking of Jay White, he was the fifth leader as well. Jeff Jarrett actually had a bit of a stint in Bullet Club as well. From August 10th, 2014 to January 4th, 2015. Kenny Omega, Marty Skrull before in a way kind of right now blacklisted and professional.
You want to know why?
And for good reason.
He openly admitted that he sexually assaulted a woman.
Trust me, when that speaking out movement was actually going around in the pro wrestling world.
That's why he's blacklisted from wrestling.
Even though he's
some companies in America and other countries are stupidly taking him in still, but
he's he's right now on the smaller independent scene. Last time I checked,
your bigger companies are never taking him in.
And I think La Comandante, I don't remember him whatsoever. Obviously, Prince Devitt, the Young Bucks, Robbie. Who's Robbie Eagles? I don't remember him.
He's an Australian guy. Australian wrestler. They had signed him, I think, 2017, 2018-ish.
He was there from October 8th in Bullet Club, from October 8th, 2018 to June 30th, 2019.
Yeah.
And you have G.O.D., both Tamatonga and Tangaloa. And they both left Bullet Club on February 19, 2022.
Because Jay White kicked them both out.
And it's kind of crazy looking back.
And the funny thing is, they weren't taken out. They weren't kicked out on New Japan TV. You know where they were kicked out at? In Impact taping.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's the funny part. They were kicked out on an Impact taping.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But regardless, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, Shinsuke. It is. Well, I'm saying it's not kind of where seeing where Shinsuke wrestling in Japan. I mean, that's kind of given.
He wasn't at Wrestle Kingdom 17, wasn't he?
Let me double check on that.
Because I remember he was at DDT Pro or some shit. Working Muda's last match.
So Wrestle Kingdom 17. So looking at the preliminary matches, you had that. Not about that. Yeah, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion Catch 22. Oh, that's not.
That's 22.
Or known as or right now they have this United Empire is what when I so they renamed brand themselves as United Empire. And let's be real, one of the greatest tag teams on that in that division is the Aussie Open, because that's one of my favorite tag teams because they're fucking entertaining as goddamn hell.
And their annoying ass theme song is so
It's
catchy.
so goddamn catchy.
Like, what the fuck? It's so annoying, but it's catchy as hell.
You also had obviously it was a two-nighter, Wrestle Kingdom. Right. Yeah, he was I think he was a guest on Wrestle Kingdom 17.
Oh yeah, he was just a guest. That's right. He was just there to be a guest because they allowed it. WWE allowed it at the time.
Yeah. So
anyway,
I think
we should just call it a night.
Yeah,
It's getting pretty late.
Yeah, but that being said, like I said, we're going to probably do this. But yeah, so Monday at 8, you're going to see us do a Raw retro watch along. Have you saw and had to get the big 3 from Monday Night, or actually it was still called Monday Night Raw at the time, but they called it Raw as War. So I mean, it's going to be.
No, here's what they did. They actually called it Monday Night Raw, but it was like a sub thing where they called it Raw's War. It's like a sub thing, but it was still called Monday Night Raw. But there was a point in Monday Night Raw where they would have the first 2 hours be Monday Night Raw, the last hour be Warzone.
Yeah, who remembers that video game for the old PS1 days? But that's here nor there. Yeah, usually this Friday. Got nothing this coming Friday. Hopefully Thursday I've got to get back to another episode of the It's Running podcast because we've been slacking a little bit.
Bro, we haven't done that in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've been down. We've been doing that. Been slacking on too. So yeah, we'll get back to that because it's been kind of hard to get a show in without. And again, though, we actually can just, you know what? Another idea I just had, we could probably just, switch the current recaps of Raw and SmackDown to the retro ones, and whereas we can just go off of there. So
honestly, no, because I don't want to do recaps of like what happened 20 years ago. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a dumb idea, honestly.
Yeah, I guess we just kind of have to cut out the recaps. I mean,
just cut the recap. Honestly, we could just do AW recap.
Yeah, that is true. But then again, we also have a separate show for that.
I know, but we could still do that. Still do an AW recap.
And
what you think, what you think, and then me and Earl could just do.
Shit, not to mention we've been slacking on Ring of Honor TV.
I missed like 5 episodes.
So apparently they do it every now I come to find every Thursday at 7.
That's the problem. It's like a wonky ass time.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, and that's been kind of hard to get like a watch along going for Ring of Honor. But yeah, so outside of that, like I said, we got Raw, or a Retro Raw watch along coming this Monday. And you'll see me back again Sunday and Monday for NBA playoff action and also some MLB action too for my Houston Astro fans out there. So I got you guys covered between the Astros and the Seattle Mariners 4:10 first pitch on Sunday. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
You want me to hop on that, or
maybe you want to? If you want to,
hop on that.
Definitely, man.
Sure, why not?
That being said, appreciate you joining me, Tyler, for a revamp of our late night talk show, and we are out.
Peace.